Morning, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, back out here at the Pathfinder Outfitters Kitchen. What I thought we'd do today is make a recipe called Indian pudding. And this Indian pudding is an adaptation of the recipe we talked about a few weeks ago called hasty pudding. And Indian pudding was more of an adaptation by the Puritans and later by the colonials. That was kind of a mixture between hasty pudding and the cornmeal things that they had learned to cook from their Indian neighbors and friends at that point in time. And so there's going to be a little bit of a change in this recipe from hasty pudding to Indian pudding. There's going to be some different ingredients, different ways of cooking it and things like that. And we're going to talk about all this in this video, but it is a very, very good breakfast or dessert. We're actually going to put probably some cold whipped cream on ours out of nostalgia, not out of historical correctness. So stay with me, guys. We'll get started. Okay, so to get this started, I've cut this recipe down 4 times. It's written to serve 8, and I only want it to serve 1 or 2. So I'm starting with 1 cup of milk, and this is just that Nido powdered milk that you mix up with water. I like carrying that stuff. It's convenient. We've talked about it before. Easy to measure in this plastic jug. Works really good. We're going to put that over a fire to warm it up, not boil. And we're going to mix a couple things with that. All right, we're going to put in basically 2 tablespoons. The first one was heaping, so I went a little light on the second one, of cornmeal. And then we're going to put in about 1 tablespoon of molasses. And we'll let that heat up a little bit and we'll start whisking that together. I'm just kind of melting this molasses off the spoon here as I go for less cleanup after the fact. As this heats up, we'll get a whisk in here and we'll whisk this up so we don't have any lumps in this dude at all from the cornmeal. And we'll continue to whisk it as it heats up. Again, we're not trying to boil this milk. We're just trying to get it hot. Okay, now we got that warmed up. We're going to take our Pathfinder bowl here and we're going to lightly beat an egg. And then we're going to start to put that egg in this mixture kind of slow and whisk it around. We're not trying to make scrambled eggs here. We're trying to temper this egg a little at a time in this mixture. And once we get that in there, then we're just going to heat this up for about 3 minutes, continuing to whisk it as we go, again on a low heat. Now, once we've pulled that off the heat, we're going to mix in our final ingredients here, which is going to be, we're going to put a teaspoon of sugar in here. We're going to put about a 1/4 cap of vanilla extract in here. We're going to shake a little bit of pumpkin pie spice in here because I don't have ginger. And then we're going to take a few raisins and put them in as well. And call that good. And we're going to whisk all that together. And then we're going to get our makeshift oven ready that we're going to make with our larger skillet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our larger skillet. We have our rack in there and we have a buttered dish in here. Again, this is probably going to make more than 1 serving, but we're going to try and get close here. Get our raisins in here. that got trapped in the bottom there. And that's pretty full, and I've got a little bit left. So we're gonna call that good. And we're going to put a lid on this, and we're going to bake it for almost an hour until it becomes a little bit like a Jell-O, but it still kind of shakes in the middle, but it's solid here on the outsides. Then it'll be ready to serve. So let's get our oven heated up to 350. Get this bad boy on. All right, looking real good. Hold temperature just above 350 right now. And we're kind of waiting for this to get a little bit thicker. We're starting to get some bubbles on the top. It's actually starting to look pretty good. I think we only got about 10 minutes to go, and we're gonna be set on a bet here. I'll kind of show you what it's supposed to look like when it's done. You should be able to grab this pan and kind of shake it, and it should be gelatinous like that, but more in the middle than on the outsides. And I apologize about the noise of the rain here, but now you can see when you shake this, it really only shakes in the center portion. The outside's not shaking anymore. That tells you that you're cooked and ready to go. Okay, I will default back to nothing left but the taste test here. Trying to get this a little closer to us here. That's nice and solid in the middle. And that's more hot. Whew. Man, it's hot. But it is very, very good. Oh man. Whew. That stuff don't hardly have to hit your palate. It's like amazing. That's good, for sure, for sure. A little hot cocoa to go with that. This will be good on a cold morning for sure. Man. Whew. That's freaking phenomenal. I want you to kind of look at the bottom of this. Look at the bottom of that thing. There's a raisin right there. That thing is just freaking cooked perfect. Don't get any better than that. Just don't get any better than that. Whew. All right, Ron. I know you want some. It's hot though, buddy. I mean, it's hot. Listen, I appreciate you joining me out here down this rainy day at the school, out here in the Outfitter's kitchen to make some Indian pudding. Again, it's a little bit of an adaptation from the hasty pudding recipe that we did a while back. I found it in a cookbook reference from about 1795. So definitely used 18th century and 19th century without a doubt. I appreciate your views and I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business. For all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. All of the things that I used to cook this today were available at selfrelianceoutfitters.com. We used a small skillet to make our initial ingredients. Then we used a larger skillet and a Pathfinder plate and a skillet rack that we sell to create the oven. And we just threw a thermometer in there to make sure we could regulate the heat to about 350. Doesn't take a whole lot to make something really, really, really good. For sure. Hey guys, I'll see you on the next video. We'll finish my breakfast.